Today's adventure is pretty awesome. Today, John and I are at Three Sisters Springs in Crystal River, Florida. Crystal River is about an hour and 15 minutes north of Tampa on Florida's west coast. So we rode the trolley over from the visitor center that's on US Highway 19. And the trolley drops you off at the boardwalk that goes around Three Sisters Springs. So that's where we've started off. And John is getting a picture of, I think, what is a cardinal. So we started off here at the boardwalk going around Three Sisters Springs. And I think I heard the trolley driver say that they counted about 80 manatees in the springs today. So we're gonna go up here where all the activity is and see if we can, how many we can count. The tide is going out, but it's not low tide yet. It's still pretty high. And the best time to view manatees is, of course, during cold winter months and during high tide. The manatees look for warm water outlets during the winter months, and the springs provide a constant 72 to 74 degrees year-round. So it's a pretty chilly January day. Chilly for us Floridians. It's in the, I would say, mid-50s. And it'll be warmer as the day progresses. Perfect time for seeing manatees.
That it's okay to be in here. But we are noticing more of them are staying than used to. But the majority of them.
So that's why we stopped by last night and said it was 150.
Yeah. This morning when I came at 8:30, we had 150.
Oh, wow.
So the tide is going out right now.
The tide's going out. It'll be low in 1 hour.
So they'll go out with the tide.
Most of them. They don't need to. So they are beginning to learn that they can stay. So we're seeing that change.
Now, do they have plenty to eat in here during low tide?
There's nothing to eat here for them.
So they have to go out.
Well, they're just going to go where it's deeper, over right out to Idiots, right out there at the end. Idiots
okay.
Delight is out there where the water's a little bit deeper, and there's springs there as well. So they just want to keep warm. They can go without food for up to a couple weeks, but pretty much when the sun's high in the middle of the day, they'll go out and eat, and then come back usually. But if it's really cold, they'll forgo the food, just keep warm.
They'd rather keep warm than eat.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
How long can they go without eating?
Have a good day.
A couple weeks. Thank you so much. Great to talk to you. A couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah.
Well, I just noticed that the fins are backwards.
So how many babies do they have? How long is
So the females
gestation?
have to be at least, they think, close to 5 years before they can have a babe, and then they're going to nurse that babe for up to 2 years. Typically. So then she won't have another one until she's 7 or 8, because I mean, once they get pregnant, the gestation's 12 to 13 months.
12 to 13 months?
Right.
Wow. Okay.
So she's only going to have, maybe 2 calves by the time she's 8 years old,
Okay.
And the males have to be even older than the females to mate. So they don't, like when we lose a lot of them to red tide or cold stress, it takes a long time to make up that
Sure.
population when you lose a good number of them. So, but the population's been growing in this area now for quite a few years. And they're not endangered any longer. They're just on the threatened list now.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
No, is that one has a baby or a younger one?
Mm-hmm. Might even be nursing. Looks like it might be nursing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is nursing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one teat under each fin. Yeah.
And they nurse for 2 years?
Up to 2 years typically, sometimes a little longer. Yes.
So there are several outfitters here that'll bring you to swim with the manatees. We have Captain Mike's Swimming with the Manatees, GC Expeditions, and it looks like Explore Florida. Now the water is a constant 72 to 74 degrees. But I see most people are in wetsuits. It's a chilly day.
Oh my goodness, look at them all.
How many manatees you think are there? Right there?
I think there's 80 in there.
80 right there?
Yeah.
He was saying the tide's going out, so they all came out here.
Yeah, he's following the other one. The spring water temperature is about 72 to 74 degrees year-round, which provides manatees an important thermal refuge in the winter. This marine mammal cannot tolerate water temperatures below 68 for extended periods of time. During the winter, hundreds of manatees may congregate inside the springs to stay warm. And I can tell you, there are hundreds here today. This is so awesome. Look at these over here playing, or well, I guess she said they were courting. She said they could court up to 2 weeks before a female will make a selection. I don't think I can zoom enough with the GoPro to get him. Gorgeous bird. A spring shed is the area of land that contributes groundwater to a spring. Three Sisters Springs are part of the Crystal River Kings Bay Spring Shed, which is 250 square miles and covers much of Citrus County. You can live many miles from a spring and still affect the quality of water flowing from it. A spring is a natural opening in the ground where water flows directly from the aquifer to the Earth's surface. This fresh water comes from rainfall that soaks into the ground. It is referred to as groundwater. Groundwater provides the majority of the region's drinking water. So yeah, that's the boil right there, where the water's coming out of the earth. So John and I are going to take the walk down the trail. It's a little rocky. Did you happen to catch the name of this trail?
The what?
The name of this trail? I guess it's just at the end of the boardwalk.
Yeah.
So right on this trail is a little carved out area. And right in there we got some manatees in the canal. So we hear a lot of bird song along this trail. And we've already spotted a few birds. So this is awesome, not just to come view the manatees, but for you people out there that are interested in birding. Awesome trail. John and I have just recently taken up bird watching and bird identification. So far we're having fun with it. It's a fun little new hobby we've started. And it's not as easy as people might think. A lot of birds look similar. Comes with practice like anything else. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch in the canal here. So Crystal River is full of places where you can rent canoes, kayaks, paddle boards, and you can paddle your way down the canal and see the manatees. Just remember, if you plan to do that, you need to do it on a cold day where the water temperature of the springs and the canals are warmer than the Gulf of Mexico. Because once the Gulf of Mexico hits 70 degrees, the manatees are gone. They're out in the Gulf. So if you want to view them, wintertime, cold days is best. And again, high tide. Yeah, she has the calf. So John and I are hiking a path now around Crystal Lake, which is a freshwater lake. So it'll give you give hikers an opportunity to see different kind of wildlife and birds that hang out around freshwater lakes. So here we have the common wetland plants found here at Three Sisters Springs. We have giant bulrush, sawgrass, knotted or giant spiker-rush, pickerel weed, arrowhead or duck potato, giant leather fern, blue flag iris, and canna lily.
That's what I thought it was at first.
So John and I have been here a couple of hours now, and we are in low tide now. And the difference is like night and day. So earlier when we were in this spot here at Three Sisters Spring, there was about 80 manatees or so. Now here during low tide, there's just a handful. Handicap parking is at Three Sisters Springs. All other parking is at the visitor center, which is at City Hall. That's where you would purchase your tickets, and it's a short trolley ride over to Three Sisters Springs. So again, the only parking at Three Sisters Springs itself is handicap parking. All other parking is at the visitor center at City Hall on Highway 19. Well, John and I had a fantastic day here at Three Sisters Springs in Crystal River. Saw what seemed to be hundreds of manatees. Took an awesome hike, got lots of pictures of birds. Spent a few hours here. Now the only thing left to do is to wait for the trolley. Runs every 20 to 30 minutes, and it'll take us back to our car parked at the visitor center. Here's the trolley.